throughout that whole piece, there's something chaotic happening somewhere. It's like just a secret shred song. It kind of loses its flair if it's the only thing,
Yeah.
in my opinion at least. I know there's other people out there that would beg to differ about my music where they say it's all shred. There's just a lot of things on the business side and the back end that I was not happy with at all. I mean, you never think that's gonna happen. Like, you know, I'm not like, you know, learning Dream Theater songs. I'm 13, 14 years old, never think I'd be up here with the signature H string. And
Hey, it's Mike from Guitar World. We are here backstage at Ernie Ball, and I am with Jason Richardson, who has got some pretty sick new guitars. Jason, you got an 8-string now. What led you down the 8-string rabbit hole?
Well, I've always been a fan of them. Like I've had other brands and models before the Majesty one came out a few years ago. And I have a couple 8-string songs already that are released, but obviously, you know, Music Man 8-strings weren't even a reality until like post 2020, I think, or something like that. So it was just inevitable. It's in my opinion. So I'm glad it's finally happening because this thing came out like unbelievably sick. And it's also just good to have options too, because this one's a little more just like a straightforward guitar to have for an 8-string. Yeah.
Were there any challenges in adapting your signature model for an 8-string? What changed?
Well, there's no whammy bar. They've been trying to get it figured out, and it's just not up to spec yet because it's such a engineering like thing. Just like the bridge would be like so big, and trying to figure out where the posts would go with the fan and the angle of everything. It'll get there, I hope. Other than that, not having the springs in the back is actually good for recording because you don't have to worry about them resonating coming through the pickups. I would literally like put mutes in there for recording or live. You can have a tight noise gate, but it's still like ping, just a teeny bit. So I would always put.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I would always put stuff in there to mute those so they don't resonate like sympathetically.
One of the coolest things about these models is I love the Finnish names. I'm a big Zelda nut, so what we got?
Yeah.
Dude, respect.
Yeah.
So we got like Water Temple, Kokiri Forest.
And then Death Mountain.
Death Mountain, of course.
Yep.
Your playing is quite inspired by video games, right?
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Yeah. How has it influenced the way you play guitar?
Not necessarily maybe technique-wise, but more so just writing and like themes and like trying to pull like actual like, you know, the music from all the stuff from that game incorporated in there. Like stay on the topic of Zelda, like Fairy Fountain theme is like one of the most iconic things in that game. Like the second you hear it, like if you play that game, you know exactly what it is. Like it just brings back all this nostalgia like right away. Actually, I forgot. I just remembered I did a cover of that with Family Jewels, and we did a beefed up like kind of like metal version of Fairy Fountain theme. It came out really cool. Yeah. I figured out this like tapping part that follows the chord progression almost exactly. Yeah, I'm actually go relearn that now.
You gotta play that. You gotta play that live.
That'd be sick.
Like, how'd you go adapting something like that for guitar? Because you did an insane version of like Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter recently, which was just nuts.
That was a challenge. The Hedwig's theme one was more. I did that more for learning more about how like Williams like writes his orchestra stuff. So I bought the conductor book from Hal Leonard, where he's, you know, it's got every instrument in there. And then I hadn't read sheet music in like almost a decade. I've known how to read it, but it's like kind of like Japanese, where it's just like when I started doing that, I still had to be like every good boy does, like like honestly at first. But by the time I got through with it, obviously I'd gotten like it was going much smoother by the time I got to the end of the song. But I mostly just wanted to see exactly all that he was doing, how he wrote all the stuff and stacked all of that in there. It's also easier for me to read MIDI than sheet music. So once I did the whole orchestra, then I had like, you know, a blueprint of everything that I could look at and decide which guitar parts would probably make the most sense to be played. Because throughout that whole piece, there's something chaotic happening somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's like just a secret shred song. But your ear gravitates towards like the melody, like that main theme, like the dun 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 dun. Like you're listening to that. Some people, that video I put up of just the reel of me playing the crazy part, they're like, I didn't even realize that was happening. And then they go back.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they go back and listen to it, and they're like, oh, holy crap, that's been in there the whole time? Like, yep. Yeah, because it's more of just like a magical like weaving texture kind of like in the background, like just enhancing the chord progression, as opposed to like something that's the focal of that. That's why that part is tucked real low in the mix in my version. And then like right after that section ends, there's another chaos string part, and I tried recording that too, but I was just like, this is too much. Like it needs a little bit of a break, like just like breath right there, just to have like a bit of a release. Because music's all about tension and release as well. So that was the hardest part, is deciding which parts to play on the guitar and still have it stay true to the song and have it ebb and flow and go up and down dynamic wise.
And I bet that kind of applies to your own music as well, because obviously you're a technically like unbelievable player.
Thank you.
It must be tempting to kind of unleash that quite a lot. So it's balancing that kind of that ebb and flow, I suppose.
Well, kind of
knowing what to do it.
It kind of loses its flair if it's the only thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least. I know there's other people out there that would beg to differ about my music, where they say it's all shred. Which, I mean, there's a lot in there, but I do try to, in my opinion at least, like make sure it's like there's at least like releases, like breaks from that chaos. Like my song Hose Down, the one with like the jazz part and the country part, like starts out, that first whole part that kicks in is super intense, but then like as soon as it dies down, it's literally just like piano and like open chords for like a little bit, just so you're just like,
yeah.
Yes.
Just ready yourself for the next, the next section.
Even for me.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. There's been fingers at rest.
Yeah.
You mentioned like sheet music there. Like, when did you learn to read music? What kind of inspired you to do that?
So I played piano, was my first instrument when I was a little kid. So it started back then, but even then I didn't like doing it, and I was more watching what my teacher's hands were doing versus looking at the music. So it's like back then I probably was thinking like, oh, why would I look at the music when I could just watch what you're doing and memorize it? That makes more sense to me. And then especially on guitar, sheet music is dumb because like it's
you get that anywhere.
Yeah, it's the same exact note in 7 different spots at least. So on piano, you got that one note and that one octave right there. So it makes a lot more sense in like other instruments for sheet music for sure, as opposed to paying attention to like position notation and like AVAs, AVBs, blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. So that's why tabs always, as soon as I learned how to read tabs, I was like, oh, this makes way more sense. Yeah. Because it just tells you right where to put your finger.
Yeah, exactly.
No guesswork.
Yeah. So was that sort of when you were a teenager?
Piano was when I was like young, like single digits. Probably anywhere from like 5 to 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Before we started this interview, you were showing me some stretches that you were doing at school to kind of lengthen your like finger span.
Yeah.
So when were you were just sort of doing those in like class and stuff?
Yeah, kind of just so like in high school, this after I was already taking guitar seriously, started taking lessons for a while. I just got the idea in my head. I was like, well, I want to be able to like, stretch wider. Like I would never put like 12 to 24 in a song, but I can get my hand to like go that far, maybe even a little bit further if I needed to, but I would never put that in a song. So I was just like, well, I wonder what I could do to maybe try and like make that easier. So I would just sit in high school and just hold my hand like that. And just, it's not to the point where it hurts. You don't want to like, then break your fingers. But if you just hold this, and gradually over time, the more you do it, you can just keep getting wider and wider and wider. And then it got to the point where like, this is my fretting hand. It's much wider than this. I'm trying as far as I can with both, and then fret hand is just
it's wild. It's such
way
like
further
dedication. So you were just utterly like obsessed with just improved guitar. Yeah,
I'd take my guitar to school and play like when I had like downtime, like at lunch or something like that. And then at the time, I think this was mid 2000s, like 2006 or maybe 2005 to 2009. Like I had music theory in my high school, which is like kind of unheard of now. It kind of reiterated a bunch of stuff. I learned more like, pen and paper, like sheet music kind of things, Roman numeral analysis, and chord progressions. And the teacher of that, Mr. Carnahan, he would do orchestra, like he would do like, the orchestra classes and like all of that stuff too. But I was like the only one ever at that high school, I think, that did music theory 2. So I would just go and like sit like, while he was doing like the orchestra stuff and like in his office and like do more advanced like theory stuff. It got to the point where he was like having me grade his papers because he knew I wouldn't mess it up.
No way. I mean, you're an interesting person to ask then. What do you make of the debate between like people who learn theory and people who don't learn theory on guitar? Like some people say it stifles creativity. Some people say, it kind of helps you get where you want to go. Like, what's your take on that?
I agree with all of that. So the thing about it is it's theory. Yeah. It's not law. That's what I always like to tell people. It's like, it's not like it's there for a reason, but you don't have to listen to it. Like, I've said this in quite a few interviews too, where like at one Petrucci camp, Al Di Meola was there. I mean, this is the most blunt and straightforward best way I've heard it put. He said, learn as much theory as you possibly can, and then forget all of it.
It's got to be like at the back almost, like it's got to be subconscious level, right?
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of like, and once I made that disconnect for myself like years ago, when I was still in Born of Osiris and we were working on the Discovery, and I found out like a lot of some of my favorite guitar players at the time, or I'm not going to name any names, but there was some people that I was like, sounds like they have to know everything about theory, and then you find out they actually don't really know much at all. They're just playing what sounds good. So that's when I first had that like moment where, because I was obsessed with music theory, everything had to be, in this box. And I was like, wait a sec, what? No, just like, I'm just gonna, if it sounds good, it sounds good. And then that's when I started like paying more attention to like film score, chord progressions, because those are all over the place.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like all over the place. So now I just worry about what shit's called later, when I have to transcribe it and sell it. Yeah, so that's what I worry about. I'm not like obsessed of like what it's called in the moment when I'm working on it anymore. But knowing theory helps the best with like, because you already kind of know or have an idea of what's gonna work better with something else.
Yeah,
and it streamlines harmonies, counterparts, and like, so it's like if I want to harmonize a shred run, if I'm playing Ionian, I know I just play Phrygian over top of it, and then I have a third the whole time. Like there's no like hunting essentially for like the right note. I just automatically have an idea of what's going to work best with that. Yeah.
Nice. And what first got you into technical guitar playing? Like what was the first thing that grabbed you?
Train of Thought from Dream Theater. Because at the time I was like kind of listening to I don't know, kind of like more punk kind of stuff, like on the Unseen and Lars Frederiksen and Bastards and like things like that. Like because that was like they were all on like, I remember a Warped Tour that I went to when I was still in like middle or high school. That was actually when Avenged Sevenfold was still touring on Waking the Fallen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got to see them play at the Rev back then when I was still in middle school. So I was kind of going down that rabbit hole, and then my dad and I was playing drums at the time as my main instrument. Guitar was fourth.
I was gonna say, dude, how many instruments you played before guitar?
3. So it was piano, drums, violin, then guitar.
Wow.
I do not play violin at all anymore. So we were in the drum section, and there was a video of Portnoy on. And at the time, the most recent Dream Theater album was Train of Thought. So my dad got that and listened to it. It was like, this is crazy. So that made me want to, I was like, I heard all of that and I was trying to learn it all on drums. And then I was like, I want to be able to play guitar like this too, and like write songs like this. Can't do that just playing drums. So started playing guitar, and now here we are.
So last year you announced you were leaving All That Remains. Was that a difficult decision to make?
Kind of, but not simultaneously. I don't want to get into the weeds of it publicly, but I'm still cool with all of the guys in the band. It was mostly just a business thing. And things just were not executed like they were promised to be from management and the people tasked with putting the record out. And it was just, I'm glad the record exists, but the fact that it's already been out almost a year and there hasn't been one show.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like, there's just a lot of things on the business side and the back end that I was not happy with at all. It has nothing to do with anyone's personality or anyone in the band at all. It was just not, it just wasn't, in my opinion, like I could be doing other things than trying to make that work when it so clearly was not going to, from my perspective at least. Like I still love the guys, I love the record, I loved working with Josh Wilbur, the guy who did the album. He's phenomenal, and that's probably one of the best things about that record, for me at least, is now I have a great relationship with him and we're gonna keep working together. But I am happy all those songs are real, so there's that at least. But,
nice.
Yeah.
So what are the other things that kind of frees you up to do now?
Well, I did that Lindsey Sterling tour last year, which was super sick. And mostly just writing for a lot of other people. Like I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff like tomorrow when I get home, I got hit up on my drive down here from a composer to do some stuff for a cue on a game, for just throw some guitar stuff in there. I have to sign an NDA and like all this stuff. So I did another NDA thing for something else that's gonna come out later this year. That's part of like a cartoon I was watching when I was a little kid, which is just another super cool full circle moment. And yeah, a lot of stuff that has finally started happening. And I just confirmed a super random tour for me, a hired gun gig for April and May. It's not announced yet, but it's it'll be interesting.
It's a surprising pairing for us when we find out.
Yes. It'll be fun though. I'm stoked on it. There's gonna be moments to go hard and flex. like with this artist, but it's I'm just looking at it like a cool side quest, and just go out, do a bunch of dope, play a bunch of dope shows, make new friends, and yeah. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna really join a band again officially. Just do my just do my solo stuff with Luke, and then keep furthering all of this film, TV, video game stuff, and just writing for other people.
So that's your main quest.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Nice,
Mm-hmm.
nice, nice.
That's where the marker is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then part of your sort of main quest is also releasing more guitars. We haven't even talked about the Sterling guitar as well.
Yep. I think you have that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm signaling the wrong way. Here we go. For Kiri Forest.
Yeah.
So this is the 7-string, and you were saying to me earlier the 7-strings sell better than the 6-strings.
For the Sterlings, yeah. Yeah. And I think that's mostly just because, you know, it's like I think it's like 900.
Yeah.
Somewhere around like 800 or 900 for a 7-string that's this nice. Like, I mean, you can't really beat that.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest change up from this one that I think makes it look like much fancier and like even just like a more expensive is the gloss. Because my other ones were all matte.
Yeah.
Which I like matte as well. Nothing wrong with that. But when I saw this one in person for the first time, I was like, holy crap.
That finish pops.
Yeah, I was
crazy.
like, holy crap. I was like, this one looks like exceptionally sicker in my taste to the other ones that we've done. Like this is a serious improvement in my opinion.
Yeah, this brings Saria's song into my head, you know.
Nice. Yes. Nice.
Last of all, I wanted to talk to you about your kind of pinky theory, which I find fascinating, about holding phones.
Oh,
yeah, which I've been hearing about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you know, I like the big giant ones.
Yeah.
And yeah, most people they'll hold it like this. I'm culprit of that. Like there's even like a little divot. You probably can't see from the camera, but there's like a little divot in both of my pinkies. So I always try to just hold it like this now instead, so that way it doesn't keep like furthering like how far away. Like look at that. I'm just like I've had some caffeine, so I'm a little twitchy, but like that's just like how my hand naturally rests with the pinky like way too far out, and I'm pretty sure it's because of this.
And you gotta watch out.
Look at your hand.
Yeah.
See if
Look at your hand.
Yeah.
Mine does it.
See if it does it.
Yeah, I mean you don't want it to affect your guitar playing, right?
Yep. That's the main thing, is I don't want it to, because I think it did like just start hurting. Like one day I was like, oh man, I gotta really be careful about that. And also this Pelican case is sick too, because I can kind of just hold it like that as well. But yeah, watch out for your hands.
Exactly. And do you have any good warm-ups that you do whenever you pick up the instrument to kind of keep your fingers in shape?
I just don't practice enough, honestly. I know that sounds weird, but like, especially recently, I've been doing more writing, and that's much different than just sitting up there playing scales with the metronome and like rehearsing songs and things like that. Two completely different modes. So even like before I knew I was playing at NAMM, like I didn't have enough time to get my other 8-string song down. It's called Pumbachoo, which is just like way too hard. So I got my 8-string song back down from my first record. It's called Tonga, where it's mostly just rides the low string almost the whole time. But that, I mean, that's the new part of this guitar. So when I played it yesterday, I was like, that's show off the low string.
It's as good a promo as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
And lastly, we were just chatting to Steve Morse, and he was saying that he was, you know, like jamming around on your 8-string.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that feel to have like another guitar legend like playing around on your signature model and responding to it?
I mean, you never think that's gonna happen. Like, you know, I'm not like, you know, learning Dream Theater songs. I'm 13, 14 years old. Never think I'd be up here with the signature 8-string, and like Petrucci's inspiration is. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because that's what I always tell JP. I was like, I'm your fault, and then Steve Morse is Petrucci is Steve Morse's fault.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like just carrying the torch. I don't know. I guess in some sort of way.
And who's gonna be your fault?
I don't want to know. I mean, we'll find out at some point. So I hope it happens. Yeah. Because I mean, JP's been so awesome to me, and you know, same with Morse to him. So it's like it's gonna happen at some point, and I'm very curious to see what that sounds like, and hear it. Not just seeing it will be equally as fucked.
Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. Hell yeah.